Hey, welcome to my channel and to day one of Nutrisystem. You know I wanted to bring you along. A number of you have showed interest in seeing what I eat. And so I thought I'll just do what I eat videos for you. I'm not going to promise that I'll do it every day, but as many as I feel like doing. Now this first week is different from week 2 and on. Starting with week 2, that's where you get settled in and you do it. It'll change as you lose weight. I like Weight Watchers. When you lose weight, then you lose points. Here you lose calories. And I guess, I don't know if you lose your power fuels and your smart carbs. I won't know how it works until I actually get there. But this first week is strict. It's very strict. It's just your Nutrisystem foods. Now, being that I'm the size I am, I do get a power fuel added to my breakfast, which means I get a protein added to my breakfast. But they still have me at 1,200 calories. That is a far cry from what I've been eating. So if I don't lose weight this week, I don't know. I don't know what to do, honestly. So they have an app called Numi, Numi, where you can track your food, and it's so in its user friendliness. It's not as user friendly as healthy, not even as user friendly as the Weight Watchers app, but it is what it is. So you can track your food. It gives you daily, is set up to automatically tell you what you need. So right now it knows that I'm on week 1, and that's why I'm so low. It on today's day, it lists what I need. So my Nutrisystem meal, my power fuel, my snack, my lunch, my whatever. I think I just get one snack, the Nutrisystem snack. And there's no snacks after dinner. That changes on week 2. You get an extra snack, and then a snack. One of them is after dinner, which I'm going to change that. We'll talk about that later when we get to week 2. Let's worry about one thing at a time. So week 1 is very strict, very low calorie, no extras except for vegetables. You can have all the vegetables you want. Y'all know I was jumping for joy when I heard that, as much as I love vegetables. But I've eaten them today. Yes, I have. Listen, if you're hungry, you'll eat, right? So I've eaten vegetables that I like. You'll see when it comes up. Now, this video is a little bit more than what I eat. So the first part of it is going to be what I ate on Nutrisystem my first day. The second part is going to be the recipes that I did today. I mini prepped the tomato basil soup. It was adapted from Nutrisystem. I didn't do it exactly like they did. I didn't want to. I had some different ingredients, and you know how it goes. So I made that, and then I made pickled mushrooms that I found in a Taste of Home cookbook. Those I made exactly like they were listed, except, the sugar, I changed it to sugar substitute. Those I will taste tomorrow and let you know how they go, because they've got to sit in the refrigerator. And then, I've not done it yet, but I'm going to show you my Jicama home fries, if they turn out. If we like them, if they turn out, and we don't like them, that would just be a taste thing. But if you like jicama, it will still give you a way to make them, in case you're not familiar with that exact way to make them. And it's just like potatoes O'Brien, the same principles. You just use jicama, and that is a vegetable that we can have all of. So that takes the place of potato this week. Next week we can have potatoes. This week we just cannot. So David found this recipe and said, well, let's try this. I'm like, well, let's try it. So what I have left tonight, because I just want to go ahead and get this video this part recorded because I'll be tired tonight. If I wait until after I eat supper, I'll be too tired to film and finish editing the video and upload. Listen, some of these uploads I do on YouTube are taking forever. I don't know. I don't think it's my speed because some of them, they just go like that. I think maybe it has to do with the traffic on YouTube. I don't know. But anyway, that'll be the second part of the video. And then the very end, I'm just going to throw up 2 pictures. My before pictures. They're full body shots, and I've never shared my whole entire body with y'all. Y'all have never, from day one that you've ever seen me, have seen me any further, or maybe a bust shot and up. You've never seen all. Somebody told me I couldn't weigh that much. I'm like, you don't see what's down here. You just see what's up here. But I want a documentation of my before on day 1. I want to know. This was taken like 2 days ago. That's day 1 to me. Close enough. I didn't change in 2 days. I had David take them. So I just want a documentation. I want you to see, here's the before, and we'll do some as we go along, in betweens, and some afters, as we go. And I thought that would just be a cool way. Now, I didn't do one of these, like, some of them put them sports bras and them tight little shorts on with the belly I got jeans and a shirt on. That's it. That's all you get. That's it. I think if I lose weight, not if I lose weight, when I lose weight, I think we'll be able to tell at the pictures if I'm still wearing jeans and a shirt. I think we'll be able to tell the difference. So that is it for me. We would just jump right into what I ate. And like I think, did I say already, everything I've eaten so far has been really tasty. It really has. And so I've been very satisfied with what I've eaten from Nutrisystem today. So let's turn around, get started on what I eat, cooking, and all this. Okay, so here is my first Nutrisystem breakfast. I'm going to try not to blur this camera. English muffin with a turkey sausage patty and an egg. That's the Nutrisystem breakfast. And I get 1 Power Fuel, which is a protein. And I've not gone to the grocery store yet, so I'm going to get some Baby Bell light cheeses to eat with it, with whatever breakfast I have. I have some low-fat cheese. I could have put a slice on the sandwich, but I wasn't really feeling that, so I just made myself an extra egg. So that is what I'm having for my very first breakfast. Okay, here is my shake. I'm late having it because I went to the grocery store. So my lunch will be late. This is the chocolate shake they send you for the first week that you're supposed to have for your morning snack. So that is what I will have. So here is a little snack I'm having before lunch. It's late afternoon, but it's still too early for lunch considering we eat so late. Now, this is not necessarily what I'm supposed to have this week, but I had already put it in the sink to thaw and did not think until I was over there stirring it, getting ready to finish microwaving it. It's got hamburger in it, a little bit of peas and a little bit of corn, but I don't think it's enough that it's going to derail me. And I had already started thawing it out, and I was not going to throw it away. So that is just a little off plan, but it just happened that way. So this is my snack. So I'm finally having lunch. This is the barbecue chicken melt. I cut it in half so you can see the inside. Looks like it's cheesy with barbecue chicken. And I didn't have anything prepared because we just started today, so I didn't have any leftover vegetables from last night. But I did have a cucumber and a tomato, so I cut that up. And this is my Nutrisystem approved lunch, I guess you could say. And I am on my 4th water for the day, so that is all I'm required for them. I obviously can drink more, and I will, But 64 ounces is what they'd like you to eat, and they would like you to have 4 servings of vegetables. And I think one more after this, and I will have that in. Supper time, I'm going to have more than 4. But anyway, here's my lunch. Well, I was sitting back in my craft room working on what I already had filmed on this video, and it dawned on me I hadn't had my snack, and they say make sure you eat all your food. So I opted for one of these cream-filled cupcakes. You can tell I've already took me a little bite off of it, and it's really good, and it's frozen. I guess you think ahead of time and set it out and let it thaw naturally. I just popped it in the microwave for 15 seconds, and that seems to work just fine. And I'm working on a cup of hazelnut cookie tea. This is my cup from Sandy. I would ask if it was Sandy. Sandy, there's tea in it. I have been drinking tea more today to keep from drinking so much coffee, because I don't put anything in my tea. It's just tea, no sugar, no cream, milk, nothing like that. So I've been drinking a little bit more of that to kind of stay away from so much coffee. Not that I'm trying to quit coffee, but maybe it helped me stay away from so much creamer. You know what I'm saying. And then that's my 5th water. So the next thing up should be my supper, and then that'll be it for the day. Okay, so my final meal of the day, here is my supper. This is the meatloaf sandwich. It's on a nice roll. David, he took a bite, and he said it tasted really good. So that is our Nutrisystem meal, and this is our vegetables. Some roasted asparagus, and this is the, oh, there we go, the Jicama home fries. Now, I cooked them with oil, and so this is 1 teaspoon of oil, which counts as an extra. We're not supposed to have any extras, but it was a new recipe, and I wanted to try it like it said. It when I sprayed it, if you go and watch, there's a how I made it after this. I didn't add extra oil like it said, but I did start with extra oil. I think next time I could get by with spraying it to begin with and not even use oil. I think it would still work. And then I'm having a Diet Mountain Dew. So that is it for my day of eating on my Nutrisystem first day. Next up is everything that I've cooked today. I'm back right quick to say, that jicama, it is good. It's got a little crunch to it, but like David said, it just tastes like crunchy hash browns, but not crunchy like taters, not hard like taters. It's got its own little crunch to it, but it is really good. We will be making this again. If you're trying to watch your carbs and stay away from potatoes, or you just want to try something new, get a new vegetable, this is a good one to try. It turned out really good, so I just wanted to hop back on here and say that. For our soup, I have preheated my this enamel coated cast iron. I don't have it too hot because I don't want to burn the spray. I'm just using Pam. To that, I'm going to add kind of a large chopped onion. It was medium to large. And then 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, and I just use what's in the jar. Two tablespoons of that. Now we're just going to let this saute. Oh, I lost the onion. May need to turn that heat down a little bit. We're just going to let this saute until the onions start to turn translucent, maybe 5 or so minutes. Turn it down enough that I don't want my garlic to burn. Okay, you can see I wasn't paying attention, and I let it get a little brown on the bottom, so I took it off the burner a minute, but the onions have started to turn translucent. Now let's hurry and get some liquid on here. We want 4 cups of chicken broth. Any kind of chicken broth you're using. Mine is 33% less sodium. Let me scrape this brown off the bottom if I can. It's not burnt, it's just browned, so hopefully that'll just add a little extra flavor. So let's go ahead and add the rest of the chicken broth. Now this recipe was called fire roasted tomato basil soup. I have regular, it uses fire roasted diced tomatoes. I didn't want to buy any because I have regular diced tomatoes on hand. So mine would be a little different taste. There's also uses salsa. I don't happen to like soups with salsa in it, so I'm just leaving that part out. That was 2 cans of diced tomatoes. You can use the fire roasted if you want to. Now the seasonings, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and 1 teaspoon of marjoram. And we're going to bring this up to the boil, reduce the heat, and simmer it for 30 minutes. Okay, so my soup simmered 30 minutes. It was a high simmer, but nonetheless, simmered 30 minutes. Now, the recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of fresh chopped basil. My store did not have any fresh basil of any kind, so I got this. Gourmet Garden lightly dried. You can see in there. And it says it lasts in your refrigerator for 4 weeks, but it's you use half as much. So a 1/4 cup of fresh basil is 4 tablespoons. So I would use 2 tablespoons of this because it's a lot more concentrated. So there's 1. And now we just want to stir this in. I believe this is going to be very good with all that basil in it. And let it go another 20 minutes. Okay, it has been 20 minutes. All we have to do now is set it off the heat, let it cool for about 30 minutes, and then we will blend it. I'm going to use my immersion blender, so let's let it cool. Now that it has cooled, we're going to take our immersion blender, and if you don't have one of these, you can put it in your regular blender or food processor and just pulse it until it is the texture you like. So that's what we're going to do here. Okay, that's as blended as I'm going to do. Let's see how it looks. I'm going to store it in these. It looks like it still has a little texture. I don't know if you can see that. If you put it in the blender, I guess it will get smoother. Let's see if you can see as I pour that. See, there's just a little bit of texture to it. Now, this is not one of those soups that you thicken up with cream or anything, because this is considered a vegetable unlimited. So you can have all the soup that you want, since it is just a vegetable. So I don't think I'm going to need my other big ones. Hold on just a minute. So here's how much soup I got. This is a 4-cup container. It's almost full. This is a 2-cup container. It's about halfway. So I'm just going to say we got 5 cups of soup. Now, I tasted this. The texture's fine by me. It is spicy. I think that was too much black pepper. I would definitely cut back the black pepper. But it has a really good basil flavor. That basil's coming through really nicely. So all in all, this is a very good soup that I would definitely consider making again. So there you have it. My take on Nutrisystem's tomato basil soup. OMG, I was not recording this whole thing. What I have in this pot is a 1/2 cup of red wine vinegar, a 1/2 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar substitute, which I'm using monk fruit, 1½ teaspoons of salt, and then these 2 bay leaves that that's when I realized I didn't have it on. The camera switched off on me. So whisk that together. I've got it coming up to heat. Whisk that together until the sugar and salt is dissolved. Oh, and 1 clove of minced garlic. I'm sorry. Whisk that until it's dissolved. And then this is 1 pound of just white button mushrooms that I've washed. I've always washed them, and I always will wash them. I've never had it affect any recipe I've ever used. I took the stems out, and I quartered them. So this is 2 of the 8-ounce packs or a 16-ounce pack. And you just want to put them down in the liquid, and we're going to bring this up to the bowl. Okay, I don't know if you can see in between the mushrooms, it is coming up to the bowl. So we want to cook this for 2 minutes, and I'm just going to stir them around every little bit to make sure all the mushrooms are getting down in there. So for 2 minutes, just give it a little stir every now and then. Okay, these have cooked for 2 minutes, and you can see the mushrooms have started to shrivel or shrink up a little bit, and they've let off a lot of liquid. You see how much more liquid is in here? Now we want to remove these bay leaves. And let me slide you over. Okay, so I'm first going to try this jar. See if I can get them all in here, just because it takes up less room in the refrigerator. And if not, I'll use my bowl. But I'm going to put the mushrooms in first, make sure there's room for those. Oh, I think we got plenty of room. I think there'll be enough liquid to cover them all, I think. Okay, now. And that gets all the garlic out. That is perfect. That is perfect. So there is our jar of pickled mushrooms. And probably what I'm going to do, now they need to refrigerate 8 hours to overnight. I'm just going to let them go overnight. I'll try them tomorrow. I'll probably go in there a little bit and shake them just to make sure they go around and the top ones get completely covered. I think I'll let that cool a little bit before I cover it. For the sake of getting this video out today, I will let you know tomorrow how they taste. For our jicama home fries, the first thing we have to do is peel this jicama. This is a first for me. I've looked at some YouTube videos. Some peel it like this and some cut it. I'm going to try to peel it first. But the first thing we need to do is cut off the ends. Now what the first video did was, like, see how that stuck up? They just peeled it off. But David told me there's like a skin. They just kind of did this right here to get something to grab onto. He said there's a skin on top of the jicama, but I wouldn't think they would do that if it didn't come off with it. So this is a learning experience for both of us. And if this doesn't work, I'm just going to cut it. Okay. I don't think this is working too good. On the video, they all peeled just like that. I don't think that's going to work. So the other video, you come and cut around the shape of the jicama. So go and follow along and go to the bottom. Let's turn it over. Get any little spots we missed. Now this recipe says to, I think I need to cut that a little bit better. Use half of a jicama. It doesn't say what size. So this size here, I'm going to use the whole thing because I need leftovers. So hopefully this will do it. Now, what I saw was to cut a piece off the end, set it aside. We're not going to get rid of it. Gives you a sturdy, so you can get these big slices. Because we got to cut these into cubes like hash browns. I'm going to see if I can do a couple at a time. We'll cut them into sticks and turn around and cut them into cubes. I've got a bowl here. Okay, see what size these are? And they look just like potatoes. Just that's the size I want them right there, that cube size. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of it. I'm not going to make you watch. Okay, so I am heating my electric frying pan. I think I got it on 350. And we want a tablespoon of oil. And yes, I'm actually measuring it. I know that's unusual. 1 teaspoon of oil counts as an extra. So there's 4 teaspoons in here. And just depends on how many servings we get out of this. So I'm going to put in all of the jicama. Oops, I'm sorry. And we're going to stir fry it for a minute or two. Okay, I've stirred this around a couple minutes. Now we just need to add a tablespoon of water. Cover it. Put it on medium heat. And we're going to let these steam until it's softened. 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, so I let them steam for about 6 minutes. You see they started to brown. Now what we're going to do is add, hold on. This is about a half of a red onion, and that's probably 3/4 of a green pepper. I ate the rest. And instead of more oil, I'm going to hit it with some cooking spray, simply because I don't want to count for more oil. So we're just going to saute this until the peppers and onions start to get done. And turn it up a little bit. There we go. And we don't have to cover it, but we can come over here and stir it every little bit. This is cooked now, I don't know, 5 or so minutes. And the onions seem to be getting more done than the peppers, but we need to season it. This is a mixture, and I doubled it because I wasn't sure how much jicama the whole one was going to make, since the recipe called for a half. But I can save this for another time. This is 1 teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of paprika, and I can't remember, it's either a half or a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So now we want to season with as much or as little as you want to use. Let's stir this around a little bit. And then we are just going to let this cook until all the vegetables are done to our liking. Okay, I'll let it go a little longer, probably 15 minutes, just to get it browned a little bit more and get the peppers and the onions done a little bit more. And I tasted it. The seasoning is good. It's the jicama is crisp, tender. It's not tender like a potato would be. It's still kind of not completely crunchy, but crisp, tender, I guess you should say. But it's actually good. I'm surprised. It's not potatoes, so don't think it's potatoes and then say you don't like it. Take it for what it is, and it's actually pretty good. So I think we'll enjoy this.